Hello, problematic boy. Campman here. Uh, yeah, we became a campman in the past 7 months. The YouTube started, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about our scourge, my scourge starter, and some other POBs I put together. Now, the thing about these POBs is that they're pretty much gearless. Even the gear here doesn't really matter because the new burning arrow isn't in. So uh, this is probably something like 600 or 700k, I'm guessing, dot DPS on the new one. But I don't have the new one in. We do have the numbers. I didn't set it up. I'm just gonna go in, a little reckless, and hope that the build is okay. Now, while burning arrows on its own seems alright, this build here. Well, first of all, I want to do a disclaimer and say that these are not safe league starters. These are a little risky because, at least for two of my league starters, they rely on Tornado working a certain, or just working good. Now, Freak, the League of Legends guy, put out a video on Tornado that you can check out. It's on the Reddit. That seems to suggest that Tornado is good. The issue is that I don't really know, and it hasn't really been confirmed yet. We'll have to just test while we're playing if Tornado can be ignited, because it says it can be damaged as if it was an enemy, which suggests that it can be ignited and then therefore reflect the damage it takes from the ignite back to enemies, which would be really good because then you don't have the downtime against single target, because you can ignite the boss and then put up a tornado, ignite the tornado, then you have two things hitting, and you can refresh the ignite on the boss when you need to. But if it doesn't work like that, it's not like we're running Pierce in this setup. Obviously, Ignite Prolif, really good. Immolate, basically, Immolate works the way that the gem is going to work, and that it has added fire damage against ignited enemies or burning enemies. And then, Swift Affliction, elemental damage with attacks, all that good stuff. As far as items go, this bow is, you could just drop the Solar Rain base and try to get a bow that has added fire damage and fizz damage, or not fizz damage, just fire damage over time crafted. Or you could have a fizz bow that has fire damage over time crafted. Really, that's what you're looking for. And then a quiver that has, damage over time, fire damage to attacks, life, hopefully, elemental damage with attack skills. This isn't really real gear. It's just that I just wanted to put something shitty, or pretty shitty in, and then see what we could get with the old burning arrow. And it's pretty decent. There's no, stuff here, but you're going to be wanting to go for evasion stuff. Maybe I should say that this is Raider Burning Arrow. I should say the name of the build. So I'm going to be starting Raider Burning Arrow with hopefully a tornado that works. As far as the tree goes, if you want to start this, I'll just give you a little rundown. You finish off your little Raider starting area, your Ranger starting area here. You want to go through this way. You want to get the little 50 life here. You want to really come down here and grab Primeval Force, especially for that 20% chance to ignite, because you only have a 25% chance to ignite on the burning arrow now. So you really want that chance to ignite. Come down here, and then we're going to rush our Burning Brutality here. You're going to want all of it, I think, because you need that 25% chance, like I said. And the Fire Mastery here, I think it's kind of up to whatever does more damage. I'm pretty sure this will end up being more damage, but it's kind of hard to leverage it early on. So as soon as you get your Cruel Lab done, you can get that extra 5% exposure from your phasing, and I think that's good early. But later on, you probably want to switch this over, just with one refund point, over to the 20 multi. The 20 multi is probably going to be, well, almost certainly going to be better. And then, so once you've taken Primeval Force, you get on here, you get Burning Brutality. Then I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab Avatar of the Hunt, especially for the blink and mirror arrow cooldown recovery rate, this is actually, I think, going to become pretty standard on bow builds. I mean, the cooldown recovery rate here is very good. It feels very nice to have cooldown recovery rate on the skill. And then it's just sort of filling in from there. I mean, our other good damage stuff, I guess it's sort of preference what you want from here, but you want to get your R's settled. So going for Charisma is a really great way of doing that. You get a ton of reservation efficiency. It lets you run pretty much whatever you want. Right now I have an Anger and Malevolence and a Skitterbots. Yeah. I think you could probably change this up, though. Like, you could get rid of the Malevolence. And since our hit chance is pretty bad, you could add in a Precision, which is something I was playing around with. And just have Anger, Skitterbots, Precision. Could even run probably a Vitality for some regen. I mean, there's a lot you can do with the auras. Right, and since it's pretty easy to get ailment avoidance on gear, because we get 50 from Avatar the Veil, and we have, oh god, how much is it again? 14, 16, 20 here, so we have 70%. We only need to get 30% from gear, so you will be ailment immune, which means you don't really need to run that purity elements that a lot of people are going to be running. And also, you don't really need spell suppression on gear because you reach 100% spell suppression so easily on this build from the Quartz Infusion. So your gearing is a little bit easier because you're just looking for, you know, res. You have to offset that you have to offset that 30% fire res, which you can easily do with a few things. So you have Elemental Mastery here. This really helps early on. It also helps offset that. So, very good. There. And like I said, I think I'd probably just get this core stuff here first. There's an accuracy note here, which also is giving Ellie res. I'm going Weathered Hunter. I don't know about which accuracy you want here. I will say, this is good if you're going to run Precision. These other accuracy ones, accuracy against unique enemies and accuracy if you haven't killed recently, are pretty fucking useless, so don't take those. But the 100% reservation efficiency and the +3 accuracy rating for dex, both pretty decent options. And then I would probably, if I was pathing this out and it was me, I'd probably path up, grab the evasion mastery, cannot be stunned if you've been hit recently, probably fill this out here, and I think this is mostly preference what you put on the mastery there. And then I'd probably fill out my damage here. This is a pretty good bow damage wheel, and I didn't actually select a mastery here. They're all bad, I think. Yeah, I think they're all bad. I think you only really want the Mirage Archer one. So you take this here, and then I'd go out and I'd fill out my spell suppression after getting this. So I'd get this. Get that, you probably don't even need this mastery. You could go for the Debilitate, which is really good. Or you can even go for just the Prevent. It's really nice. And down here, of course, we have some protection from critical strikes and Entrench for more life flash charges. So I'd fill out the spell suppression, I'd get the cannot be stunned, I'd get my auras fixed, you know, get the rest of the damage, and then you really start deciding, well, I mean, this isn't too far to get over here to just get some damage over time and damaging ailments inflict faster. That's going to be helpful. And then it's like, well, you can go down here and stretch out and grab Dirty Techniques, which I think is good. Or you can come up here and grab leech. And some life recovery on kill. That's probably just more quality of life to make the build better. If it was me, I'd probably go up and grab the leech first and save this for last, because this is a clusterless build, and if you do want to add in a cluster, you're probably cutting this, and you're probably cutting this here. I wouldn't cut this though. But if you cut this here and this, and then you can put a cluster here, a fire cluster, which I think is the ideal thing. So that, yeah, if tornado turns out to work well and the tornado can be ignited and it works out we want it to, this is going to be a really bomb ass starter. It's going to really fuck. It's going to really fuck. So I wanted to just show, yeah, sure, save. I wanted to show some other things. Here's another tornado thing where it's really dependent on a tornado. This is a Spark Inquisitor that wields a staff. Its defense is just having regen. It's non-crit. And I'm trying to sustain RF on it. But maybe that doesn't happen. But it's basically, you have a staff, you take lightning nodes, you have elemental overload. And it's double recoup as well with a lot of regen, so I mean, maybe it's good. I put some life gear on it. It's hybrid as well with a divine shield, so you want to build into armor NES. Just to really get all that sweet juicy recovery that you're gonna get on this build. And the Uber Lab is just to get some consistency on the elemental overload. That's basically the only thing. And it's just really dependent on tornado, right? If tornado doesn't give you the damage that you need, then this build basically just clears and doesn't do any single target, and it will suck. So definitely not something I would recommend unless you're willing to take that risk like I am. And I think if I'm interpreting tornado correctly, and I think it can be ignited, then I think it can be shocked, which is also really good, because you can shock the tornado and add more damage to it, right? Because shocked things take more damage. And that's, of course, all dependent on GGG's wording that the tornado can be damaged as if it were an enemy. So enemies can be ignited, enemies can be shocked. Why can't the tornado? Let's just hope the tornado works like that. And then for the third build, I'm just going to go quickly through here. I'm not going to go like very detailed into these other trees. For the third build, I'm not even sure if this is the way that you would build this, but I made an energy jug with lightning strike that's crit. So you would go down here, you have strike skills target, you get fortify, and you get the melee hits fortify. You have dismembering, you have blade of cunning, you have the accuracy here. I've also decided to take divine shield here as well, because I mean, your jug building energy shield, why not? And you're just coming up and you're just hugging this left. If you look how the build even looks, you're just getting out here and you're just hugging this left side. Yep. Some good melee crit. There's some good life regen. I even opted to take this life regen, but you don't have to. I don't even think this is really necessary. You could pop those points out if you want to be level 93, which is a bit more realistic. And I haven't added any damage here, so let's see here. What's the weapon? It's just a fizz weapon. You could do flat scaling as well. I should mention that. You could just go for flat lightning. And then this is dependent, of course, on how much damage you're going to end up getting from that energy blade. If the energy blade damage is sufficient, which it might be, then this is going to bane out. But if it's not, it's a risk, and you're going to end up with a brick build. So if you want to potentially brick build, choose any three of these. Choose any 3 of these. And there's also, of course, other content creators that you probably already know about, but if you don't, you know, Math will just put out some good starters that seem to be reliable. There's you know, Noogie, who has his poisonous concoction, and Ziz put out some very cookie cutter guides that builds that will almost certainly work, right? Like Toxic Rain Champion and Fizz Trapper, Cold Dot. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those. But if you want the possibility that something goes wrong, but has the potential of going so right, I think the strongest of these is going to be the Burning Arrow Tornado. If Tornado works out good. Because I just think the defenses here are pretty good. And the exposure is just so nice. You have Onslaught for that quality of life and that extra defense there. I just think this is going to be the strongest. But Energy Jug seems like it could be fun if Energy Shield adds enough damage, that is. I also saw an Inquisitor version of Energy Blades that sort of goes more into building Energy Shield. So maybe consider that as well. Also, if you're running Energy Blades, I think you should run Discipline. That'll be my only advice. Run Discipline. And it seems like the Gravicious Craft is going to have insane value this league, because whether you're building energy for defense or going over here for Ghost Dance, which this build isn't doing, but could do. It's only 3 points. Actually, it's probably a good idea to take that at some point. Because you can get a lot of Energy Shield just from life scaling and then work off of that. So something to consider. Because even on the left side of the tree, if you're going to do energy blade stuff, or if you're playing any type of hybrid build with Divine Shield, you know, even the Eldritch Battery or something, it's just all good. So consider that. I also would not overlook Melding, which has gained 3% of maximum life as extra energy shield on it, making it a very good node if you're going hybrid, combined with that Gravicious Craft. So that's all I'm going to say. 17-minute long video! What the fuck? Okay, that's it. Bye-bye. I'll try to post these in the description. Kisses. Catman kisses. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Bye.